I will now yield to my good friend from Texas and the vice chair of the Energy Subcommittee of Energy and Commerce Committee. 2 minutes to Mr. Weber of Texas.
Gentleman's recognized.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Thank you, Speaker. It's interesting to me that our friends across the aisle say that we already have enough oil, quote unquote. And it's also interesting that President Obama, when the gentleman from Georgia, Buddy Carter, mentioned Keystone Pipeline, it would have come into my district in Texas, 830,000 barrels of oil a day. That's what we're talking about refining on the Gulf Coast of Texas. If you transfer that to 18-wheelers, it's about 5,253 eight-wheeler tankers on the road every day. The pipeline is the best way to do this. Mr. Speaker, in Texas, we understand better than anyone else that America's energy strength depends on what happens to the oil after it comes out of the ground. Keystone Pipeline is a good example. It's our refineries, Mr. Speaker, the men and women who run them, the communities built around those businesses. It's those that turn out resources, our resources, into fuels and products that power everyday life. The Refiner Act takes on a question that Washington has ignored for far too long. Are we doing enough to protect and expand America's ability to refine the energy we produce? Right now, unfortunately, the answer is no. We're not. Over the last several years, America's refining capacity has gone backwards. We've lost more than 1 million barrels of capacity per day, and several facilities have shut down altogether. The gentleman from California mentioned one of them. In several states, hostile policies are pushing refineries out so fast that families are now facing higher prices and increased dependence on foreign fuel. That's not how you build energy security, Mr. Speaker. That's how you weaken it. Meanwhile, global demand for fuels is still rising, expected to grow by as much as 20 million barrels a day by 2050. The world isn't slowing down, Mr. Speaker, and neither should American energy. The Refiner Act takes a serious look at that situation, directs the National Petroleum Council to review our refining capacity, identify where we're vulnerable, and highlight opportunities for us to expand. In other words, it gives us the facts we need to strengthen a critical part of our energy supply chain. Because when refineries close, families suffer. Small businesses suffer. Transportation costs rise. Prices jump at the pump. And the whole region becomes dependent on foreign suppliers. Thank you, sir. That is exactly the opposite of energy dominance vision that we're working toward under President Trump. And let me tell you, Mr. Speaker, you know this. In Texas, we know what happens when refineries thrive. We fuel the nation. We even supply our allies. We make money doing this, and we support thousands of good-paying jobs. The Refiner Act recognizes that refining isn't an afterthought. It is a foundational piece of our national security as well as our economic strength. I urge my colleagues to support H.R. 3109, and I yield back.